One of the most important and universal principles of schooling is to teach students to think. All of the school subjects will share in the achievement of this ultimate target. Science adds to its unique abilities with its focus on hypothesizing, manipulating physical environment, and data-based reasoning. For its vital evaluation and potential development and creating interest in your work, dissemination of your research is paramount. There are many varied settings in presenting your research to other professionals, and it is useful to convey your research findings in as many ways as possible. Good day, future researchers! Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is me again, Teacher Tinmay. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for more updates in research. Kumusta, researchers? We are now in our Week 7, Module 7, and for today's lesson vlog, we're going to discuss our last topic, last basic science process skill, which is communicating. Pero bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating communicating as the last basic science process skill, bibigyan ko kayo ng 10 seconds para i-enumerate ulit yung 5 basic science process skills na nauna na nating i-discuss. Okay, timer starts now. Okay, very good. So we have observation, we have measuring, classifying, inferring, and predicting. Graphics, diagram, maps, and spoken words. Do you know that these are some of the ways on how you can communicate your research work? Now, let us define communicating. Ano nga ba kapag sinabi nating communicating? Communicating is the last basic science process skills that is needed to be developed by researchers and scientists. Communicating uses words, graphic symbols to describe an action, object, or events. It's important to be able to share our experiences, and this can be done with the use of maps, graphics, diagram, or spoken words. In order to convey the results, it is necessary to retain the appropriate records that could be submitted for the purpose of reviewing and rechecking by others. Accumulated documents and their analysis can be viewed as a variety of ways. Graphic representations are primarily used because they are simple, concise, and meaningful. Comprehensive and understandable experimental reports are important for scientific communication. It's important to be able to share our experiences. This can be achieved with illustrations, graphs, charts, and spoken word. For example, the learner will create a line graph showing the relationship between speed and the mass of a car. Another example, the learner will discuss possible errors with other classmates. So those are examples of communicating. In fact, this process refers to a group of skills, all of which represent some kind of organized data reporting. The most popular examples include tables, charts, and data show graphs. The aim of communication skills is to portray information in such a way that the greatest amount of data can be checked with an eye to discovering the inherent patterns of interaction. The inherent essence of this process skill requires the ability to see and ultimately to view knowledge as interplay between the variables that affect it. There are different forms of science communication. But before we proceed these forms, let us now define first science communication. Ano ba pag sinabi nating science communication? Science communication is defined as the use of appropriate skills, media, activities, and dialogue to generate one or more of the following personal responses to science. The concept offers an output-type view of the science communication and provides the basis for further analysis and evaluation. There are lots of forms that can be used to communicate the results of successful research. What are those? We have the posters and flyers, science journals, research proposals, and science presentation. Posters and flyers could be a shockingly effective way of communicating your research to the public. Kasi kung mapapansin nyo, ito yung mga posters and flyers na nakikita nyo sa daan na pinapamahagi lang at ibinibigay sa mga tao. If you want to build support for a project, raise awareness about a problem, or educate the public about the community problem, posters and flyers allow you to connect with community members. Posters are a great opportunity to get feedback, network, and above all, let others know about your study, particularly during the early stages of a project. Posters and flyers are printed sheets meant to be displayed in a public or private place of business and also used in the presentation of science investigation project. Posters tend to be relatively large and professionally printed and almost always contain pictures, whereas flyers, also known as mini posters, are typically 8.5 by 11 or so, can be easily photocopied or emailed, and mostly rely solely on words to get their point across. In order to attract or sustain focus, graphics are important and bullets can be used to engage readers, and it is important to use minimal text for the basic explanation why it needs to be big enough to be read by people. Number 2, we have the scientific journals. So what is scientific journals? When we say scientific journals, these are the most critical means of disseminating specific results and are typically based in various academic fields or subdisciplines. Research also challenges traditional hypotheses and/or empirical evidence provided in current scientific literature in order to achieve a clearer understanding of the facts and results. A research proposal is a document proposing a research project, usually in science or engineering, and it is typically a request for funding of the work. The proposal shall be judged on the expense and possible effect of the proposed research and on the soundness of proposed implementation plan. For the research proposal, a research proposal explains what you're going to do, why is it relevant, and how you're going to do your research. The structure of research proposal varies from field to field, but the most of the proposals should contain at least of the following. You have the cover page. This includes the proposed title of your project, your name, the name of your boss, or the name of your group mates, and organization and department. So this time, you're going to write the name of your school. Introduction. It illustrates what you're trying to do and why. It should introduce the subject, provide background and context, and outline your problem statement and research questions. So, problem statement and research questions is usually the goal and objectives of your research project. Next, you have the literature review. It convinces the reader that your idea has solid basis in current knowledge or theory. So, ito yung magpapatibay doon sa inyong ginagawang research study. Kasi meron na kayong mga related study and related literature na makakapagpa-pinpoint na this is something may basis. There is a basis. Okay, next, you have the research design. It will explain the overall strategy and practical steps that you will take to address your research questions. You also have the reference list or the bibliography. So this is a list of all the sources that you consulted when preparing the proposal, even those that you did not mention in the text, and sometimes other relevant sources that you are planning to read. It is also included in your reference list. Okay, again, you have the cover page, the introduction, the literature review, the research design, and the reference list. Now, what are the research proposal aims? So, paano ba? Para saan po ba ang research proposal? Bakit isa ito sa form or way of how you communicate your research study? Number 1, you have the relevance. It convinces the reader that your project is interesting, original, and important. Number 2, the context. It shows that you are familiar with the field. You understand the current state of research on the topic, and your ideas have a strong academic basis. So, hindi lang gawa-gawa nyo, kundi meron din kayo talaga kayong basis at may pinagmulan. Okay, yung research na ginagawa nyo. Next, you have the approach. Make a case for your methodology showing that you have carefully thought about the data, tools, and procedures you will need to conduct the research. And lastly, feasibility. Okay, this is the confirmation or the confirm that the project is possible within the practical constraints of the program, institution, or funding. And number 4, we have science presentation. What is a science presentation? The word science presentation or research presentation, this is used in this course, refers to talks made by scientists with a view to presenting their discoveries to the scientific community. How this particular scientist found a significant question and discovered a potential to answer to that question. Through such presentations, scientists try to receive a range of realistic input, motivation, constructive criticism, grant funding, practice, etc. in order to further advance their work. Remember that the secret for a good presentation is practice. Know your slides and key informations. Points well and practice presenting prior to your talk in front of many individuals and people or group of people as possible. This will allow you to remain on time as well. And this is the end of our lesson vlog and our lesson for this first quarter. So we have the scientific attitudes and the 6 basic science process skills. So I hope you learned something from me. Kung gusto nyong balikan ang mga nagdaan nating lessons about scientific attitudes and the 6 basic science process skills, ilalagay ko sa description box ang lahat ng mga link nitong mga nakaraan nating lesson. Okay, binabati ko ng isang malaking congratulations ang aking mga grade 7 students from Constellations, Asteroids, and Comets. So, salamat at sana ay nag-enjoy kayo sa ating first quarter. Sana ay kasama ko pa rin kayo hanggang dulo at pwede nyo pa rin antabayanan ng ating mga ipopost na mga lesson vlogs kasi bago tayo mag second quarter, siguro magkakaroon tayo ng mga bago pa rin at mga lesson vlogs about research para naman sa second quarter. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for more updates in Research 1, Research 2, and Science 8. So again, this is Teacher Tin May, ang kasama mo sa iyong research journey. Good luck and God bless. Bye! See you on my next vlog.